Not gonna find a musical transition like that and then the stream now, are you? What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Perfect World Masters. This is going to be the second game of the first round between Blue Pikachu or Pikachu Blue. It's a Blue Pikachu, I don't know, Ice Water type, who knows, going up against the Korean squad, the Immortals. I'm like, well, it's gonna be your caster for this game, and wow, we already have a plan. Now this is something that actually Complexity have been working on quite a bit and winning with. Also, I think that they've picked up, I've seen a lot of IO pickups from them. I don't know exactly when they pick up the Tiny, since I always like end up watching their drafts like 10 minutes in, or their games 10 minutes in. So I'm not really sure if this is how they open, but this is going to be a pretty early pickup of this duo of heroes, opting for these guys instead of some more, conventional heroes. That being said, it is still a very strong combo. It is going to, of course, show your hand very early, and Immortals will, of course, want to ban and pick to try to deal with this. The IO and Tiny can certainly dual lane together, but up against certain heroes like a Puck, it does get pretty difficult to actually manage that in lane. We have seen a lot of off-lane Pucks, so that might just be the plan here for the Immortals side. But Toss Harassment, Avalanche, it's really just difficult to land that on a Puck and actually kill him. And the Immortals will, with this Puck, will have one of the better core hero answers to an IO Tiny. As far as that relocate is concerned, as far as just being very difficult to pick off, do like the Puck a lot in that regard. We'll see if they also take out something like a Disruptor in their bans. With the Night Stalker already picked up there for Immortals, would be a really handy hero to have up against this duo. And this is a reason why we don't really see this these two picked up all that often, just as the 1-2, because there are so many good answers in Dota to these two heroes. Like, it's not too infrequently that we see IO picked up with a 4-position hero like IO Night Stalker or something like that. If you're going to go for an IO as your game plan, then yeah, that's usually what we see, just so that they can keep this last pick a little bit of a secret. And yeah, the Tiny may be banned out, but as powerful as IO Tiny is, you could certainly get the job done with some other heroes as well. Like, we've seen Ursa, we've seen CK. There's really just so many options there. So for sure, Blue Pikachu placing a lot of priority on this duo and this duo in particular, which is interesting to see. Lots of NA qualifiers so far, and so far it seems like Immortals have been kind of floating to the top as far as their performance is concerned. And I love me some good old Korean Dota. It's going to be a little bit tougher here for Blue Pikachu. Not to say that they are bad. Far from it. They are perhaps a little bit of a step behind the teams like Complexity, like the Dire, EG, and now Immortals. So they will have to fight just a little bit harder in order to come ahead versus this Immortals squad. Immortals have been tearing it up. They just, I think, recently qualified for something. There's like a lot of tournaments going on right now, and they've each NA qualifier has been won by a different team, and I think every single team that won were the teams that I just listed, like the Dire, EG, Complexity, and Immortals. So here's hoping for Immortals' sake they're able to take a little bit of a step up and are able to claim 2 as opposed to just the other 1 from the other regions. The Blue Pikachu, not really sure what they should be banning out right now. Immortals are going to take out the Underlord. A lot of mobility would have been there, and I like this Monkey King ban. We've seen Immortals just rock with Monkey King, and yeah, it is going to be dependent on the matchups. Monkey King just up against IO Tiny is perfectly fine. Maybe not as much so in lane, where Monkey King may struggle a little bit, but Jingu style lets you challenge the lane. Gonna take that one out. Immortals also may be considering answering with a Nature's Prophet, or banning a Nature's Prophet rather, still in the pool. Maybe it's going to be a little bit too much mobility, and working with the Night Stalker and Puck already, Immortals do have ways of stopping that type of style. But it does seem like that super hyper mobile style from the Blue Pikachu side is seemingly what they're trying to go for. An Earth Spirit also would be a pretty nice hero to have on their end. Nick Assassin can get banned out, and it's going to be a Jakiro. Okay. Well, IO Tiny always lets you push down the towers, so I mean, they're going to have that already. But now getting a Jakiro will increase that by so much more. Is pretty much, just going to be there, though. No real combos to set up with this guy. Just a nice, safe laner. And if you are going to be a Jakiro going up against an offlane Puck, yeah, it might be difficult to kill him, but for sure it is going to be a lane that Puck will be, taking quite a bit of chip damage from. That's just typically how the Jakiro rolls. Even though you may not have any quote-unquote combos, you still will be able to handle the lane, especially if you have a safe laner that is at all capable. And that is, of course, assuming that this Puck is going to be grabbed towards the off lane, which is still not quite confirmed right now. It's looking rather likely. That being said, no Disruptor. It's going to be a Winter Wyvern instead from the Immortal side. Is a little bit of a more aggressive answer to the IO and Tiny. The Splinter Blast is quite nice. The defensive power of the Embrace is nice as well. And personally, I do like the Disruptor more against these type of heroes, the IO Tiny. But with Winter Wyvern, you have the chance of just straight killing the IO with the Winter's Curse. Usually they're going to be in range. Also, I believe it is not impossible, but really, really hard to relocate out someone if they're cursed. So if you're dropping someone low, you can curse them, and then IO, when he tethers in, will not relocate out. He will just sit there and start attacking his ally. It's not elegant, but it's a pretty nice safety mechanism if you're not going to go for something like a Silencer with the Global Silence. And then Blue Pikachu pick up a Tidehunter. Wow. I've not really seen all that much of this hero, and you could tell because the wings of Jakiro are just glitching into his head. If we did see a lot of Tidehunter, I'm pretty sure Valve would have fixed that. But either way, Pikachu, Blue, with this Tidehunter pick, set up for quite a bit of team fight, and do give themselves a little bit of versatility here in their lanes. Well, it's not impossible to deal with the Tidehunter. There are some really good heroes you pick up to counter them, but most of those heroes that you pick up to counter the Tidehunter, I was going to say Bloodseeker, I was going to say like the Juggernaut with that spin, a Slark is pretty much immune to the Anchor Smash damage. Those heroes are not really incredible to deal with this IO and Tiny, so it is going to be a little bit of a spread there. What the hell was that noise? Did you guys, is my computer making noises? Did you guys hear that? That was weird. I don't know. Windows 10 sometimes just does things that make noise. I could have sworn I heard something, but I'm going to pretend that didn't happen. But either way, it does give them a lot of team fight, but yeah, the versatility is really where it's at here for Blue Pikachu. Like, yeah, you want to IO Tiny and, play around the map like that, but if your Tiny gets a pretty good start, gets a fast Blink Dagger, you could definitely just wander around with IO Tidehunter and cause some havoc that way. And if you're blinking in as a Tiny and you find that you're a little bit out of your depth, well, a Ravage can definitely bail you out. So I don't mind this direction from Blue Pikachu. Winter Wyvern, Night Stalker. Night Stalker in particular will struggle in this draft. Like, there are very few drafts where we see Night Stalker being bad. And I don't think this is one where he is necessarily bad. He is just a hero that can't really perform as well as he would like to for a first pick. Like, your Crippling Fear is going to be really good in some situations, really crappy in others, but that's really not the point of the Night Stalker. The point is to give your team a very early edge and then to keep the vision up in the later stages. And the vision still will be nice, but the early edge you get usually is by bullying some of those softer mid lane heroes. Throw a couple of voids towards a Quap or towards a Storm Spirit or something like that. If it's an IO Tiny, you can't really touch that. You can still throw some voids out on them, but then they'll just bottle it right back, so it won't really do all that much. We'll see the Enigma pick for the Immortal squad, as Blue Pikachu still looking for a core hero. There aren't really many great core answers versus the Enigma. I mean, there are, but most of the answers that we see for Enigma come out from the support role. Tidehunter, Rubik, not Tide, Rubik, Silencer, those type of heroes.
5 seconds remaining.
Blue Pikachu looking for safe lane, perhaps? It's a Timbersaw that Immortals will really struggle to deal with. They don't really have all that much damage with this draft. I mean, they've gone for a lot of answers here from on their side of things. Again, Enigma, really, really high potential hero, but always fairly risky depending on the positioning. There's another good hero to have up against this IO Tiny, which Immortals have kind of stacked their draft to try to deal with. That is not accurate. Kefka's not here. Kefka's an EU, guys, so he is probably going to sleep or something. Or in the stream slacking. That's a possibility, too. But this Timbersaw is going to be pretty rough. I mean, yeah, there's a couple of disables here for the Immortal side, but as far as actually killing off a Timbersaw, I'm not really sure how they're going to make that happen. So this draft from Blue Pikachu, incredibly tanky. Like, just looking at their heroes, the only hero that's quote-unquote easy to kill is the Io. And yeah, you may be able to kill him off, but you gotta fight through a lot of crowd control effects and a lot of damage to actually get to that Io. A loaded in, no immediate pause. Feels good, man. We'll see what the Immortal Squad are able to do with these supports. Again, it doesn't really seem like it's going to be incredibly easy for them, but hey, just winning a couple of lanes can get you off to a mighty fine start. It does feel like the Enigma, he really, it always seems like Enigma's games whenever he's picked up, like he has to do well. And it's definitely possible for him to do well. Up against that Timbersaw, you will have a lot of base damage between just yourself as well as your Eidolons. And yeah, you won't really do much damage to the Timbersaw, but Timbersaw can't burst down your summons very easily, and ooh, Alrin taking a lot of damage already with that burn from the Winter Wyvern. QO, though, with the Poor Man's Shield, takes 2 shots from Tiny and does very little, so that's some value right there, man. Winter's Arctic Burn, god damn it. So many spell abilities from the Winter Wyvern. Arctic Burn is a very, very high damage level 1 spell. I don't know exactly how much because, you know, it's a percentage, but it is going to be one of those tools that rivals like Battery Assault and Diabolic Edict for just pure right-click damage, or spell damage from one spell. Does seem like it's going to be your pretty standard IO Tiny going towards the mid lane, save, of course, saving for that bottle. Should be getting it right away, and then at that point, you know, Febby with the boots first as the Night Stalker. Not really sure if he's able to do all that much. Again, this is going to be a lane where MP, the Puck, is going to be rather difficult to deal with. You could very easily kill him off if you get an Invis rune, but if that doesn't happen, Puck should be able to phase shift dodge every single toss, and Avalanche may land, but Avalanche toss is very difficult to actually pull off. So you know, we'll see if the Immortals are able to take this lane away, or I expect it to be pretty well handled by the Pikachu blue side. Take a quick look at the other lanes. First of all, we got Alren on the bottom lane as Jakiro along with Scourge McDuck handling for Ev in lane. Again, this is going to be a decent lane for the Enigma as long as he's able to do that. Just use all of his right-click power, not to right-click into the reactive armor because that feeds over a lot of survivability over to the Timbersaw. Just use it as extra creeps to just right-click and deny and CS exactly like that. That's how you do that lane. Up towards top now, Ryu Dota. He's been sick lately. It looks like he's been, and by sick I mean like actually ill, not like, whoa, sick. But it looks like he's feeling good enough to play the Tidehunter up towards top lane against Dubu and QO on the Winter Wyvern, as well as that Bloodseeker. The Bloodseeker should not really feel all that much pressure in this lane, but then again, neither should Ryu. Like, as long as he's able to get those Anchor Smashes off, there's not much damage that can be done to him. Like, yeah, the burn may hurt a little bit on a Tidehunter, but that cooldown is like 10 years. So every single time you just walk up, and let's see how much damage it actually does. QO's doing nothing because he got Anchor Smashed, minus 29. It brings him down to half HP, but you know, there's not much right-click damage involved there with that burn, which is usually like half the damage output. No, not half the damage output, but a good portion of the damage output that you actually get is from the slow and your right-click when you're Winter Wyvern. But Ryu is going to be rather immovable in this lane. But then again, so is this bottom lane. I'm not really sure if 4Ev is ever really killable. As long as he has some summons near him, just a CS, he should be fine. It does seem like all of these lanes, judging by the tankability from the blue Pikachu side, it's very hard for the Immortal side to dislodge. They are going to maybe set up onto Ryu towards top. Night Stalker, again, has chilled over in the mid lane for a little while. We can see how much that did. Whole lot of nothing. And he's still trying to do what he can. Absorbed quite a bit of experience making a full dual lane scenario here mid. I mean, it's not a terribly huge deal. But he can't really do all that much, Febby. Feels bad, man. It's so rare that we see Night Stalkers just get absolutely stopped cold in lane. It's like, it's such a rarity, but sometimes when you're up against all these tanky heroes, your own tankiness doesn't really seem to matter. Although finding Alren, that could be quite nice. Looks like that stack didn't quite work. Looks like it should have. Febby can do this. Punch a dragon right in his face. Yeah. I guess it takes some balls to actually start punching a dragon. I don't know about you guys, but that's something that I wouldn't really be super interested in. He'll back off. Pull the wave here for 4Ev, who is actually getting his ass kicked in the lane. I mean, it's an off-lane Enigma, so it's not that you expect him to be dominating or anything like that. But CS-wise, the Timbersaw, even though he does have kind of a low CS mark, low base damage mark rather, is still getting quite a bit of extra gold here. Gotta face up against those denies, which is going to be rather annoying, but you can see 4Ev is just intent at right-clicking this Timbersaw with those Eidolons. Doesn't do a lot. It, in fact, probably heals him more than it hurts him, that Timbersaw. I don't know the exact math, but it does seem like that's a possibility. Ooh, Blood Rage onto Ryu. There's no creeps to kill here, so that Arctic Burn is going to do a lot of damage. Now QO is going to charge in, and, well, they have a Splinter Blast. It's not going to do a lot here, though QO is still doing a lot. The Thirst charges are stacking up. Save will be First Blood. Jeez, that was plus 92, as the hero also, in the meantime, just being picked off by Febby solo. That's why the Bloodseeker was so fast, because of all of this damage from Immortals all of a sudden. First nighttime phase, and they go ham. Oh, MP, Avalanche Toss, not quite insta-dead. Is going to be able to pop the Fairy Fire. The turnaround attempt onto save as the orb out is going to get MP to safety, but not in your conventional sense. He'll still be tossed and killed by his ally. Too bad you can't use Hunter of the Night to cancel that toss and just fly away. That would make a lot of sense. Ryu up towards top. The damage is high and it's just enough to get the kill. Whew. This damage from this Bloodseeker seems like it's so much more than it really should be at this stage in the game. It has 3 points of thirst and quite a bit of damage on these heroes from Blue Pikachu. So yeah, it is going to make sense, but just the timing at which they're making these attempts when QO does have all this damage, pretty freaking ridiculous. And of course now he's going to calm down a little bit, just up to 78 plus 24. Oh no, how's he going to last hit with that super low base damage? It's a disaster. He's on his way towards the Hand of Midas, and I don't think that Ryu can actually do anything to stop him here. I mean, the Tidehunter has died a handful of times now. We'll get a little bit of help here from Alrin, but Dual Breath, as powerful as it is, along with the Gush, I think should be enough to kill off QO, although they're going to drop him very low. Suddenly, gets a little bit of extra movement speed with the phase burst out. The Dual Breath just catches him on the end. Don't think QO is going to actually turn around, try to go for this kill. He's going to get Gush, but he snags the last hit with the Blood Rage. Now trying to go for Ryu. There's another Anchor Smash here, which Febby is going to dodge by standing off to the side. QO gets both of these kills. Gets him a double. And that's that Caveman Dota of Legend. You always got to watch out for that, as this Immortal side, they are going to play by the skin of their teeth. That is just their MO. And suddenly the Bloodseeker is level 6. And he has now 4 kills and 0 deaths. Yes, guys. It is Eidolons. I know I trigger a lot of you uninitiated out there. Oh, 4F. This is not good. His summons are doing about nothing. I think Timbersaw's Soul Ring did the most damage to him there. Tries to go in with the Chakram. Not quite gonna do it versus Febby. Does slip out of there. Did I say versus Febby? I meant versus 4Ev. MP still chilling on this mid lane. Level 6 on both those heroes. The IO is off that lane. It's gonna be running into the real Febby this time. There's a Void, there's a Crippling Fear. Not much that Febby can do outside of this, though, especially once this Tiny comes in. Avalanche, Toss, not comboed, but still will land and do quite a bit of damage. Febby gonna fly over the trees. Can't quite fly over to the next cliff, and with another toss, Febby is not dead, because he got the silence off. Now the coil turnaround onto 2. There's no black hole here, but they'll kill off save, well, unless you don't attack him. Okay, if you don't attack him, you're not gonna kill him. 4F could have gotten that really easily. He's gonna turn up for Malphus on that Tiny, and now gets healed up by the Wyvern. Orb through, they'll take down everyone. Tossed, not enough to kill off 4Ev. Everyone survives from Immortals, and Pikachu Blue get nothing. Save somehow gets out of there. I'm like 90% sure Enigma was in range to shoot the IO in that direction. I guess not, or he hesitated or something happened there. But either way, they rotate absolutely everyone and just put a hard wall in front of Blue Pikachu. They're going to teleport back in. This Tiny shows off how much damage he could actually do, but at the same time, just going up against that phase shift, up against some pretty decently evasive heroes from the Immortal side. Ryu Dota is up top, bullying Febby, but may have pushed his luck a little bit too much. Is there a coil? There is. And a double damage rune on MP. Okay, they don't need a coil if they have a DD rune. That'll do the job. A little bit over aggro there from the Tidehunter. They're going to now try to go for QO. He does get a little bit of healing here with the stick. Not quite enough. Is there another chain? There's no chain at all, and QO's going to live at 50 HP. Oh, Chakram will be dodged. Splinter Blast off of the creep, and Scourge McDuck will fall. The Dual Breath as well will be dodged. Oh my god, there's no stuns here for Alrin, so he will be able to slip out. But how does QO keep living? I mean, he has phase boots and level 4 thirst, so he's getting a lot of mobility. He's able to dance around these tools being thrown by Blue Pikachu. But surviving at 5k net worth with that Hand of Midas is going to increase that even more. And yeah, he's just bouncing all around the map. Not even going for like one of these more aggressive kill builds that we see sometimes Bloodseekers go for. Febby, straight T. Oh, that Ice Path. That actually connected. That did not look like it was going to land. That was some weird graphics right there. Like, that was like Ice Path like this, and then the guy was here. I don't know what happened, but QO's once again going to be aggroed upon. Maybe not quite enough, though, here from Blue Pikachu. Save is going to take tower aggro. He'll die. They rupture the Tiny, and QO is going to survive in the back. You can tell he was thinking about going in there, trying to go for a little bit of lifesteal off of that Blood Rage. But we'll decide to fall back again, surviving at double digits of HP for the third time in this game or something like that. Kind of ridiculous how many times he's been able to survive, but that's just Bloodseeker for you. On top of the net worth chart and 4 Ev now. With those Eidolons, level 4 pushing in. It's going to do a lot of damage versus this tower. Ryu's going to arrive. Anchor Smash about half of them. With the Relocate coming in, they'll have Avalanche and Toss. That'll get the kill. Despite Dubu's rotation just a little bit too slow, they have Febby here. They'll be able to Splinter Blast onto Save. Does quite a bit of damage. But with the Toss there, they can't quite get the kill instantly, and they relocate out. That's going to leave Ryu all alone, actually, which is pretty bad for the Blue Pikachu side, because they can actually just turn around and straight kill this Tidehunter, I think. There's no tower here to save him. So yeah, Relocate gets the IO out, gets the Tiny out, but kind of screws over that Tidehunter, which is very unfortunate. Sometimes your allies just abandon you. That's just what happens. Q up towards top lane in the meantime. Playing around with Scourge and Alrin. He's taking quite a bit of damage here. Blood Right is actually canceled by the Ice Path, which means he finally will go down, but they do get the Rupture onto this Timbersaw. 4Ev is here to clean up. Splinter Blast from the distance. Will get the kill. Alrin teleport out. Should be fine. Can't quite get on top of them. 4-13. Finally, Blue Pikachu get this Bloodseeker killed off. But not for free, unfortunately. Still not quite good enough. We'll take down a tower in the meantime, though. Dubu flying forward. That move signifies he just wants to use Winter's Curse on an IO for a stun. Hey, at worst, it's just a bad stun, right? That's pretty bad. It's a pretty bad just single target stun. You only do that if you have no other choice. 4-13. It is going to be Immortals, at least for right now, with that lead. Absorbing that Ravage and handling it really pretty well. Only essentially losing for Ev in that mid engagement. Now QO with the Hand of Midas is going to start just passively farming it up. You would think. I mean, he doesn't have a TP score right now, but I would bet that if QO finds an opportunity of someone to kill in the nearby area, he will go for it. Because that's just how he rolls. Dubu runs into Ryu. Fly away, Winter Wyvern. Or fly in. Okay. Well, he does have MP coming. And they will change targets onto Alrin. Splinter Blast, though, maxed out. Doesn't have any use here. There's nothing to bounce it off of. Now there is, they kind of group up. And Dubu is going to call it quits for right now. Ryu, Mechanism on the way. Guardian Greaves as well will be an incredible item to have for this Tidehunter if he's actually able to get that. Eventually he will, but it's going to take him quite a long time. A lot of just very annoying abilities to purge yourself off of. Crippling Fear probably being the big number one. Puck Waning Rift is also not too bad. Ooh, QO. Easy survival, but they are going to still get this top lane pushed. IoTiny with the Blink Dagger now. They're going to start a fight on this bottom lane first. Ryu does have a Ravage. Ice Path will still connect up to MP with the Ravage there as well. Lots of damage, but he will be able to coil and perhaps even orb out. Yes, straight into this Tiny though. He is still surviving. MP with the bottle and Tiny with the Rupture on him can't really chase. Now the Black Hole onto the two that grouped up. The Ice Path is going to come in and save Ryu for just a split second, but he still will go down. As now it's on to Febby, where Scourge is going to try to kill, but there's no trees here for him to actually grab onto. Now stuck in the Blood Right. Gonna give Febby a triple kill, looking for 4. Alrund's TP is not gonna work. That's a full wipe in favor of Immortals. Febby and QO both surviving. Forever obviously getting that Black Hole off. Not full channeled, but still does keep the Timber and the Tide at bay, letting QO and Febby do their damage. Night Stalker, man. Night Stalker does a hell of a lot. And that was a that was not a relocate actually from the IoTiny. But either way, was very swiftly dealt with by the Immortal squad, getting a tower there as well as holding their top tier 2, which was pushed a little bit by the IoTiny. The Blink Dagger up on the Tiny usually means, hey, it's time to go ahead and kill everybody. Whoever you find, just blink out of a toss, you're dead. But not quite enough to kill off these heroes of Immortals. Because Immortals are actually just straight living up to their name. Like QO especially, just never dying, and the Puck had a really almost clutch escape. He did get taken down by save. I think that was the negative earn charge on the Puck. After a long time, did end up getting that kill. But man, just wasting so much time. Oh, Blink Dagger's on Forev. Surprise, Ryu. Mechanism is not up. He does have a little bit extra armor here, but armor does not really help you that much versus Puck. And MP will jump in and seal the deal on the Tidehunter. Now grab himself a Veil. 6-19 and Immortals are just living through everything and getting all the kills in the meantime. And the scary part is that their hero with the most net worth, QO, has most of his gold is tied up in just gold and farming items, not even battle items. So once he actually gets this Radiance, then shit is really gonna hit the fan. Still with this Jakiro, level 2 in the Liquid Fire. With this Tiny, he could toss if he needs to and we'll put some damage into this tower. But the Blink out means that Forev for right now is going to be safe. Rotations going towards the bottom lane as the Liquid Fire will not kill the tower. It will be denied by Forev. And his summons Dubu. Thinking about going for the Tiny, they will instead also run into the Timbersaw. So Dubu's in a pretty precarious position right now with no TP. It was nice knowing you, bro. Yeah, I do appreciate your team in general, their immortality, but I don't think it's going to happen for you. He gave him a good run. Wasted a lot of time for a lot of heroes, I guess you can call that maybe space created. MP, uh-oh, is going to be revealed, but does he actually care? Is going to grab the kill on save and blink out of the Ice Path, or rather, jaunt out of the Ice Path. MP, Avalanche Toss. Oh, he could have went for it, but he hesitated just a little bit. Could have canceled that TP and probably get the kill on Puck. Would have taken a little bit of time, obviously. Puck, though, doesn't have a Blink Dagger, so definitely getting that kill would have been feasible. Maybe now. Oh my god. This is such a huge Night Stalker. I mean, he's only a little bit of gold behind his friendly Puck, and the tower will be taken down. Ryu, this is not the place for you, my friend. Black Hole, obviously can't crack and shell that off. They'll commit it and kill off Ryu, who thought teleporting to top lane would be a good idea. It wasn't. Even more gold for 4Ev, as his Blink Dagger already has gotten him 2 kills. I think both on the Tidehunter, actually, so that feels pretty bad. But, yeah, very frequently at this stage in the game, 17 minutes in, we see Night Stalker with Phase Boots and a Magic Wand, sometimes an Urn, and then nothing else. He usually doesn't get anything else until much, much later. And that something else that he usually gets is, like, 9 times out of 10 going to be a Medallion Solar Crest type of itemization. Sometimes we see Force Staff as well. Very, very rarely do we see Night Stalkers nowadays just straight rush that Ags. But if you're as far ahead as this Night Stalker in this game, there's no reason to not straight rush the Ags. Dubu may be in a little bit of trouble here. He does have a heal for himself. The Ice Path will be dodged. Dubu's going to set up a curse. Do a little bit of damage to the Jakiro. 4Eb with the Midnight Pulse will help in there as well. MP messes up his combo, but it doesn't seem to matter. Still is going to get the kill. Dubu's heal. Oh, the damage. It's going to be enough. Yes, it will be. But Scourge is going to die for this almost for sure, although he will get onto the other side of the river. It won't really help him. They trade 2 for 1 as MP gets a killing spree now. Pretty much at his Blink Dagger. Should have that locked up, and QO does show off that shiny new Radiance. This is tough times, man. Tough times to be a little blue electric mouse. Is shiny Pikachu even blue? I'll look that up in between games, because you know how, guys, how like sometimes you find shiny Pokemon and they're just a different color? I don't think shiny Pikachu is blue, but he might be. Does it matter? No, it actually just doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter in the least. QO now is quite the menace with that Radiance. Level 15 as well. What does this Tiny got going for him? He went for drums, and he does have it now. Save is charging up to relocate, looking for QO. Blink, Avatos does quite a bit of not damage. That combo was not clean. And now with the curse onto the IO, he'll take so much damage. QO gets a lot of movement speed from that. Still has got to dodge his Chakram. Is going to slip out of there. We'll be fine. They don't kill anyone, but they should still be able to set up for something maybe. They really have to be careful here. MP does have a Blink Dagger and does have a lot of burst damage, and the IO is not here to sustain them. They'll find the Timbersaw, but he has a Hood. Not exactly the target they want to go for, but you know, they may be just willing to go for that anyway. He does zip out of there. Oh, but MP finds 2, especially this Tidehunter. With that silence, he'll get the Ravage out. Now with the Avatos, that will work onto QO, but will it actually be enough? Because still MP, 4F, and Dubu doing a lot of damage here. Going to let the Tidehunter go. Opt for the Tiny instead. He'll try to toss the Enigma away, but still MP is going to chase relentless with that Blink Dagger. I don't know where the Night Stalker is in all of this. He's going to come in to witness this last kill. But it's going to be only the Tidehunter to survive, and Immortals, they decisively smash Blue Pikachu for like the 4th or 5th engagement in a row. And the worst part of that is that was a Ravage fight, and that was not a Black Hole fight. So the Blue Pikachu used all their tools, and Immortals used very few of theirs. Like, they didn't even have Night Stalker in that fight. And now, with just a little bit of extra time, we'll have his Aghanim Scepter up. And then map hacks. So, yeah, I mean, you could maybe deal with that gem if Ebby's going to get that with the Ags, because, you know, the vision may be very large, but he still can be Avatossed. Well, I don't know. It won't instantly kill him. Like, at this point, he has freaking 2,000 HP. Like, that's a lot of Night Stalker to get through. He'll have a little bit... Ryu is in a little bit of trouble. Standing still, not an advisable strategy. It's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him. He's going to get caught in the coil, and still in the Midnight Pulse, can take a lot of damage here. And this TP is going to be canceled by something. I don't think anything actually canceled his TP. He just stopped teleporting out anyway. With the Void, they'll take the kill. Looking for more. They have Alrin and Save in their sights. There's a Relocate here, but you can't cast Relocate if you're silenced. He's going to try to teleport out. Also not going to work. Alrin, he's super dead as well. Where's the help? The help is not helping. They're pushing elsewhere. Sometimes when you get yourself into a whole lot of shit, there's nothing your allies can do for you. Shiny Pikachu is slightly orange-yellow. That sucks, man. You would think that Nintendo, with their flagship Pokemon, would make the shiny version not terrible. Because the blue Pikachu is Marill. Whoops. Kind of forgot about that. That Pokemon does, in fact, exist. I mean, nobody gives 2 shits about Marill. Like, come on. It's called Pikachu. My uncle works for Nintendo, guys. It's true. 17k in the net worth lead here for Immortals, with still a Black Hole in their back pocket, with the map hack vision here from Febby. They're just going to jump in straight for the IO. Ice Path is going to be dodged by Ferev's fresh BKB. Black Hole onto 2. Not even the 2 you want to Black Hole, but they're feeling themselves right now, Immortals. And you know what? I don't really blame them. What is this item coming for Bloodseeker? Oh, it's a Dagon. You know, just casual 23-minute Midas Radiance Dagon on a Bloodseeker. There is no mechanism on this Tidehunter. He's actually kind of given up halfway and going to opt for that barrier in the hood. which I think is a reasonable decision, but is not actually going to help the team. The team is going to suffer quite a bit. There's 2 hoods now up. We can see how much that actually matters for the Immortal side. See, this is what I'm talking about. You get the avalanche, you get the toss, and he's at half HP. And he's a Night Stalker, so you got to really work to chase him down. The Jakiro's going to be yanked in. They do land a Chakram. Febby does have that gem, but he is going to lose it. It takes them everybody, and we can call this a little bit of a throw because he does give over a gem and a big kill to the enemy side, or we can call it space creation because the rest of the team, they're in the Roche pit dealing with him, although taking a lot of damage. There's no blink dagger here on Ryu. He will circle around. Oh, Ravager can be so backbreaking. He's gonna get an Anchor Smash, but instantly cursed. And now QO has enough time to back off. Tiny jumps in for the curse as well. Avalanche will proc the Aegis. And they will have to work pretty hard to get this Bloodseeker out of here. 4F gonna drop a Midnight Pulse, which is gonna land onto everyone. But QO, he's stuck in the middle of the blades. He's taking a lot of damage and will fall twice. Now chasing after Save. 4F. Unfortunately, going to blink right into an Ice Pass. So I don't really know if Save is going to have the ability to get out of here. Forever now with the BKB up, Orb through onto the Jakiro will get another. And yeah, it's going to be 2 more. And Ryu, well, he's still sticking around in this fight. MP takes a lot of damage, just a split second off of that phase shift. Here comes Febby back from the dead. Big bad Night Stalker's here, and you guys got to run. The Timbersaw is extremely tanky and does have Suicide. I don't see Immortals killing off Scourge McDuck here for real. But they will take him off the map at the very least. He's probably going to go down to Suicide. Right? 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 Yeah, there you go. Commit Sudoku. And that was Gem being returned now to the Immortal side. But they do get Roche and end up in like the worst position imaginable with it. Having gone for this build, Bloodseeker, no real right-click damage from this big Dagon investment. Going for Roshan is going to be just risky. I mean, that's just inherently how it is. Shiny Marill is green. Yo, so you're saying that Shiny Marill is better than Shiny Pikachu, so that means Marill is better than Pikachu? So that means blue Pikachu is better than regular Pikachu? Yeah, we're making some extremely large leaps in logic here, but Forev, he's got the black hole, and he's feeling himself. He's just going right in, but everyone's going to disengage away from that BKB. Enigma is kind of here by himself, although the backup is swiftly coming in. MP lands a 2-man coil. In the back, Ryu does not have a Ravage for another 40 seconds, but Immortals do not have their Bloodseeker here yet. They'll take down Alrin, and they will back off as QO is coming in from the south. And you don't really want to mess with this Bloodseeker because he could just zap Save like right now. Oh, he's going to try to yank himself out, and he will get out. There was... Okay, yeah. Crippling Fear, a little bit of extra burst damage. Oh, the Tiny got left behind, though. They left the Tiny behind. That's not good. And now Io. Run away! Oh, he's bleeding. Oh, no. You know, it could have been worse. You could have been tethered and then ruptured, and then you just kill yourself. I guess you cancel the tether, so you don't always kill yourself. But up to the high ground now. Immortals. They don't have any Eidolons here. Forev needs a creep wave. You know, obviously going to wait for a black hole onto 2 with the BKB. Is going to ensure the Ravage doesn't do anything, and they silence the Tidehunter. He blinks in and immediately gets crippling feared. Ryu, so scared, can't cast his Ravage. Wouldn't have really changed the tide of that fight anyway. Speaking of the tide of that fight, there is no more tide in this fight. Oh, well, he got the Ravage off. With the regeneration from the Io, is he actually going to live? Oh, the Tiny's going to come with the Avatos. Will kill off the puck. And the Io is still healing him up. Ryu will finally fall. And QO, of course, first hits into the craggy exterior. Now has just got to try to escape here from the Timbersaw. He's going to Midas a creep that's not going to do anything. And they haven't taken racks, so Immortals going way too deep here will lose a lot. Oh, guys, they just disrespected Save. And an Io who's sitting in the fountain, healing someone who's right outside of the fountain. Like, that's infinite health right there. You're just funneling in bottle and fountain regen to that one guy. Febby now has got a TP out. There is an avalanche, and they will once again lose the gem, give it over to Blue Pikachu in a huge throw from Immortals. Now, there are times, guys, there are times to go for a fountain dive. That's usually after you take down 2 sets of racks. And we could see that that did not happen. They took down 0 sets. And they lose absolutely everyone. I mean, yeah, they're feeling themselves right now, but that's a little bit too much. Now, this is going to be great for Blue Pikachu. They'll be able to move out on the map, get some more farm, limit their losses, obviously, which is a big deal. Does it get them into a game-winning state? No, not even close. They're still 14k behind. Their Jakiro is broke as hell. And the Tidehunter is having some really, really large issues. Actually getting his ultimate off. The BKB, though, coming up with the Bloodseeker. Enigma, they got that Octarine, so cooldown on the Black Hole. Cool 102 seconds. And this game not over, thanks to that a little bit of an aggressive play there from Immortals. But it is still not exactly a game where Blue Pikachu are comfortable. And they just need to get a lot of farm here. Get as much farm as possible. This is a good item. I mean, it's not going to be completely without answer. Still, you can get hit with that Black Hole. That's unfortunate. Winter's Curse, the initial cast, does cut through spell immunity. I'm not really sure if Tidehunter's going to die to that, but we'll just take him out of the fight for a little while. Still, they're getting all these items here that Blue Pikachu otherwise wouldn't have gotten if they didn't go that far. Let's see what they can actually do with them in the next fight. For right now, Dubu, full vision over the Tiny. The Ward, I don't think even saw him. He will hit the Tiny. That will cancel Blink Dagger. Now for Ev, is going to come in. Everyone's pretty well tucked in behind the trees. They're going to gun for the IO first. I don't think he's going to be able to... He actually doesn't have relocate. He already used it and already got stunned. So that means that he's dead. That means the chase is on for the Tiny. There's another Void. I mean, hiding in the trees and teleporting out would be great, but, you know, Ags. That's a twofer, looking for a third Ryu. Oh my god, that circle did a lot of damage. Not quite enough to kill off that Tidehunter, though. Still, it's going to be Immortals getting 2 kills for free. No BKB, no Black Hole. Even if they did use the Black Hole for that, still would have been worth it. And yeah, they get a couple of minutes out on the map. And then suddenly the map is closed in on them one more time. And hey, look at that, a double damage rune. He's going to put it in the bottle. MP, what a bro. And okay, well, Febby is just going to wander in and start punching the range racks by himself. Because there's no Tiny. There is a Blink Dagger now on the Tide and a Mechanism, but Febby is going to disrespect all of them by kind of backdooring by himself with no creep wave. Now here comes the double damage on QO, so this is how you kill off racks. Like, let QO show you, Febby, how it's done. BKB pop, they'll start bleeding out onto the Timbersaw, and you just gotta stand there. You can throw out a Chakram, but Timber Chain is not a good idea here. They will take down range racks top. MP now gonna jump in towards the IO, just trying to drive him away. The Glimmer Cape is up on the IO, and he will be able to tank through quite a bit with that. Magic Resistance coming in big here for Blue Pikachu. The Tiny now is in onto QO. He's going to do quite a bit of damage here, but nowhere near lethal damage. Still swinging, looking for MP, but he's going to run into Forev. Is actually going to cancel Blink Dagger. Forev now in a really awkward spot, tossed up. Maybe forced to use Black Hole a little bit prematurely. He'll jump back to his allies, actually, and look to disengage. The Tiny had to give up that fight. Timbersaw, though, pushing forward with the Chakram, will do even more damage to QO here. QO is actually low on mana, low on health. Now here comes the Ravage onto 4. Will set up for the Bloodseeker kill and the kill onto MP as well. And now for Immortals, they just got to book it. Febby will live, and it looks like the Winter Wyvern may as well. The Enigma, though, is in a lot of trouble here. Lays down a Midnight Pulse, will give him actually quite a bit of juice, thanks to that Octarine, but he's trying to escape from a Timbersaw. He has a Blink in 3 seconds, but Liquid Fire is constantly canceling his Blink Dagger. He will BKB and just try to live, but I don't think that's in the cards. He's going to go down as well. They take range racks and almost melee racks. But Immortals run into just too much bulk on the Blue Pikachu side, and once again, it's Blue Pikachu to scrape together a really, really nice fight for themselves, despite being so massively far behind. That timing on the Ravage, that tiny initiation, the fact that they just couldn't find their black hole angle, it's going to win them a huge fight, get them a tier 2, and maybe even a little bit more. The Enigma's dead for 50 seconds. I don't really know. Okay, Timbersaw just cutting down trees for vision, I guess. Does limit his movement now. But this is an IO Tiny we're talking about here. This is a lot of damage onto this tower. The Ag's just going to bulldoze this tier 3. And Blue Pikachu striking back pretty hard. They're going to jump in for the curse onto the IO. That will do a whole lot of nothing. No, Dubu will not die to this. And now with MP and Febby coming in, maybe they'll take down this little ball of light. They will with all the Daggons. Ryu's going to try to TP out. They won't be able to cancel that. And they won't be able to cancel this one either. They will respawn naturally. I don't think that was any buybacks. No, it wasn't. Looking for a little bit more as they will run into a Timbersaw. Immediately the lift up. Febby is here, but it is, unfortunately, just Daybreak. I don't really think they'll be able to do this. Unless they have a Rupture, they don't. Well, they do have a Blood Right that will hit onto the Timbersaw, so he's silenced. He does have a Suicide here. Oh my god, that did a lot of damage. You can't suicide when you're dead. Write that down, guys. You cannot suicide while you're dead. Instantly into the Roche Pit. Rev still has that black hole, now with an Invis rune. Is there a gem on the blue Pikachu side? There are a couple of sentries. Looks like the gem... Where did it go? Seriously, where did it go? Is the gem just gone? Is it in... the hell? So there's a gem just like on the map somewhere. I don't know where the gem went, guys. It disappeared. Frev. Just stalking Ryu. He's gonna run into a Sentry Ward, unfortunately for him, so he's got to back off. They do very easily take down that Roche, giving a double life to the Bloodseeker. Another item coming out to him. It's a Yasha. Can't really use it right now. Midas replacement, perhaps. And all these fights that Immortals are losing, yeah, it's great for Blue Pikachu. It actually gives them some hope in this game. But, like, 16k is still in the lead for Immortals. Like, they can afford to lose a handful more of those fights, and it won't really matter. They're going to jump in on Scourge one more time, as Febby is just going to charge in, man. This Night Stalker has full vision, so he's feeling himself. They'll now be able to focus down the racks. Winter's Curse. Oh, no. Onto the Shakiro. Beaten down by his friends. Now the Black Hole afterwards. That's the play. That's the play for sure. They need to get this Ravage off. Ryu Dota will finally get it off, but QO does have the BKB. He's still right-clicking. He has to right-click through the Shrine, though. Doesn't really have that much right-click damage. The Radiance may be enough. With the Blood Right, will actually get like half his HP back. Thanks to the Blood Rage, will finally lose his Aegis. They do buy back now on the Tiny. Looking for some sort of response. The Bloodseeker is still moving pretty darn quickly right now. He's going to go straight for the second set of racks. Scourge is in a little bit of trouble. Did get Blood Rage and will get a lot of HP by killing off these creeps. Tiny once again back in onto Febby. Will try to glimmer himself out to freedom. Looks like he'll have a chance because he has a cliff to fly up right now. Although he is still hidden in darkness vision. It is nighttime. QO just kiting Ryu, kiting Scourge McDuck, throwing out Dagon Blast. I think that actually got reflected by the Echo Shell. Can they actually kill this guy off? There should be an Embrace soon. Oh, there's no mana here on the Winter Wyvern. Now has it. But QO... Run, QO, run! In the meantime, his backup is slowly coming in. Chakram, oh, there's so much damage. He's getting away so quickly. Now he's going to think about turning around for Ryu. The TP out from the Tidehunter will be canceled by the Yule Scepter. QO, he's just not dying. He's just not dying. They can't kill him. In the meantime, everyone else on an Immortal is just dealing with this backline. Ryu is going to die eventually here to Febby and MP. They will take down Dubu as well. And QO is like, should I go back in, guys? Those in a Dagon. They catch up to the puck and kill him off with the Timbersaw. Now they finally kill off QO as well. I think they probably should have just left, but QO doesn't do that. He just doesn't leave. That's not how this game works for him. He needs to be in those fights. And they end up once again giving over a good amount of gold, but this time it's going to cost Blue Pikachu a lot. And the fact that the Tiny had to buy back, Tiny got at least that kill on QO. So yeah, that I think the gold penalty might have been on him still. Look at this disrespect from Febby. Like, he doesn't give a damn. He's gonna fly over, full map hack vision, and then teleport out. Easy. Hey, look, we got the gem back. Is that a new gem? I have no idea. It might be the, well, we'll call it the same gem. They found it. Maybe I was just blind and it was on one of their inventories. That is definitely a possibility. Actually, that's probably exactly what happened. But Immortals taking a fight that lasts for 10 years. Ultimately, the Tiny's buyback is in the end worth it. But still, we can see, even after that fight that looks pretty good for the blue Pikachu side, ultimately ends up the 19k net worth lead for the Immortals. Febby, yo, he's in a lot of trouble right now. He has the gem, and the curse is going to come in from Dubu. Poor Io is just going to get beaten down by the Tiny. It's not going to do enough damage to kill him off, though. Does have that buckler armor. And Febby, toss out, is going to end up killing off. The black hole lands onto 2, including the Titan who just jumps in there. Second black hole, he has a refresher orb for Ev. Is going to clean up everyone. Actually, MP gets all of the kills somehow. They also catch up to the Timbersaw. The Rupture is going to wear off, but he's literally surrounded. He's going to actually have a way to move out of the trees, but MP with the orb is going to grab an ultra kill. Who's the jackass that stole that rampage? It's Forev killing off the Tiny. Shame on you, Forev. Shame on you. But still, that's going to be a Night Stalker down. Small price to pay for a full 5-man wipe, and that is some way of showing off a refresh orb. This Forev Enigma is on top of the net worth chart, having survived that last fight. Not entirely sure where he's going. He's just waiting for his allies, I guess, dragging the creep wave back. His army is coming in, and my oh my, is it an army. He's gonna make another army. Army in a can. Nice. Only Jakiro's here. Timbersaw and Io do have buyback. Tiny, though, does not. He spent his earlier. And I don't really see this fight being possible for Blue Pikachu without a Tiny. They'll try to poke in, but there's a Rupture on the other end as well as a Blink Puck. And obviously, like, Blink Enigma and all that other dangerous stuff. So, will that actually work? I'm not convinced. They will Rupture each other. Echo Shell! And QO now will BKB the Ravage. Just trying to right-click onto Ryu. The Ravage does land into a lot, but there's no follow-up. Because, again, they can't win the fights without that Tiny. QO will drop, though. I think someone force-staffed him and actually did quite a bit of damage. But there's still Mega's going to soon flood the base. Tiny's not up for another 26 seconds. This Timbersaw bouncing out, will look for MP, but MP dancing circles around the opposition. Well, phase dodge a lot of that nuke damage, as well as the Chakra, who takes literally no damage from that one. Dubu's in the middle of the base because of reasons, and all the trees now are gone, so Scourge McDuck just ran out of mobility. They're trying to go for Forev, but Forev's just going to drop the black hole. He only has the one, has got another in 5 seconds. This time there's not much damage being dealt in that black hole outside of that Midnight Pulse, but man, that slow and steady damage is working out for them. There's a second black hole on top of the curse, though. That's not how you're supposed to black hole. This is such a clown fiesta, guys. Febby and Forev still at, like, full HP. Look with the Ice Path, and with the beatdown from the Tiny, can they kill off this Night Stalker? Yes, they can. Now jumping forward, looking for Dubu. He's got the gem. He's got Precious Cargo. He's now on the run. Forev, he's still literally at full HP. Like, Midnight Pulse with Octarine is actually an insane amount of regen. They actually can't give chase to the Winter Wyvern. They do take down Night Stalker. Forever gonna get gushed. He's very low on mana. He could just TP out with travels. He may have been able to do that. Gets glimmered out, and there's no True Sight because the True Sight is on Dubu, who's still here for some reason, has Force Staff. Why is Winter Wyvern and Enigma trying to fight this? They do have MP coming in, but Bloodseeker's still dead. They're still just trying to go for this, man. He's still just silencing fools. MP setting up for nothing. Forev pops a BKB. Is going to run to the south now. Oh my god. Benny Hill.mp3. Here comes QO. Zaps the Tiny, who still doesn't have a buyback. Now the Rupture onto Ryu. Will try to TP out. And it looks like he actually gets relocated out instead. But the GG is called. What was that? What was that? What just happened? That was like a 3-minute fight, and it like didn't matter at all what happened, but yeah, it definitely happened that way. Immortals, they certainly live up to their name. They survive every single engagement with QO in the early game at like 50 HP, and Blue Pikachu just being controlled perfectly by the silences, initiation style of Immortals from Febby and MP, not to mention the fact that Forev ends the game with more net worth than anyone else in the game. Certainly that is an Enigma performance. That actually looks about right. I mean, it's only personal, but it seems about right for any Enigma game, that performance. Guys, this is just game 1. Blue Pikachu have another chance here up against Immortals. If they lose the next one, though, there is still a lower bracket, and we will be following whoever loses this match in the next match after this one's done. So we're going to have a little bit more of these teams in just a little bit. I'm Mike Loris. It's been a pleasure casting this game, even though it was only a game for like, I mean, how long did that actually last? Is there any, 42 minutes. Once it hit like 35 minutes, it stopped being a game because, you know, of things. But guys, I'll be right back in just a little bit for the second game. Don't go anywhere.